How do you teach a horse to do a good stop?
When we're talking about stopping horses, this is a good question. There's a lot of ways to go about this, and everybody's got their own techniques. And there's not necessarily a right or wrong technique, but I'll give you some thoughts that we would have on this. We teach our horses to stop in multiple ways. We teach them to stop off of our seat. So when we sit down deep, take our legs off, and relax in the saddle, we want them to read our seat and stop off of that. We teach them how to stop off of the reins, one rein or two reins. And then we also teach the horses to stop off of the word whoa. Okay? So in the fundamentals level of the method, we teach the horses an exercise we call draw to a stop. Draw to a stop is probably the closest thing to what most people think about when you hear stop a horse, which is you're teaching the horse, when I pull back and I create some pressure on your mouth with both reins, I need you to stop and soften and give your face vertically to that pressure, okay? So the sort of abbreviated answer that I would give you is, number one, for a nice stop, you need to get a horse very soft and supple laterally. Lateral flexion is the key to vertical flexion. So the more broke and soft and supple and responsive you get the horse on either side of his body, from his nose to his tail, when you pick up on two reins, that resistance is going to be greatly, greatly reduced, okay, if you get the resistance out from the left side and the right side, and then you worry about both at the same time. Then the next thing that you need to do from there, once I got as much resistance out as I can from side to side, I need to teach the horse how to start actually giving and softening to the bit first. So we teach this as an exercise called vertical flexion at the standstill, where we're teaching the horse when we pick up on two reins, we want him to give, tuck his nose in, create a little slack in the reins. We're looking for a soft feel, not a soft look. If it feels good, it is good. If it feels heavy, it is heavy. So that exercise is our starting point to teaching the horse, when you feel pressure from two reins, this is the response. Don't throw your head upside down. Don't get frightened. Don't feel trapped. Stop, soften, and give me your face, okay? Give me that chin. Then we're going to move on to that draw to a stop exercise that I just mentioned. Draw to a stop is essentially a vertical flexion exercise at the standstill, but we're going to teach it while we're moving forward. So we teach the horse, we walk him off, we pick up on two reins, we want him to stop, soften. As soon as he softens, we turn loose, flex the horse once each way, and then we head off again. And we're going to work through a succession of that, of walk, trot, canter, until we got all the resistance out in that particular exercise. Where as soon as we pick up and ask the horse to stop, there's no resistance whatsoever. No, the two things happen almost simultaneously. Stop and soften their poll vertically, soften their chin vertically, okay? Then from there, let's just assume that you've got that accomplished. The next big factor in your stop is going to be your backup. If you want a horse to have a really responsive stop where you pick up, he really sticks his butt in the ground, he buries his hocks in the dirt, you got to get a really good backup on your horse. The backing is totally the opposite of stopping. Not only are they stopping forward motion, they're getting away from the bridle. Not only are the feet just stop moving, you want that responsive, that suck back. Stick your butt in the ground. Get your hind feet back up underneath you, okay, and get off of my hands. So anytime somebody tells me, hey, my horse is stopping, but he doesn't feel like he's trying very hard. I don't, when I watch Clinton's horses, Clinton's horses are trying harder than my horses just at the walk, much less at the trot and the lope, okay? Chances are you don't have a very good backup. It's stiff, it's resistant, it's heavy. There's no energy in the horse's feet. There's no cadence in the horse's feet. So once you get a really soft, light backup, then you start applying that to your stopping program, where now you're going to stop the horse and you're going to back the horse up until he gets soft, and you make a habit out of that. If you make a habit out of always stopping the horse and backing him up, but before long, that's what he thinks about. When you pick up on two reins, he's not thinking stop, he's thinking back up. If he's thinking back up, he's going to stick his butt in the ground and try a lot harder. Now, if we're talking about like reiners or cow horses or something like that, there's a lot of different things to get a horse stopping better. We're not going to go into all of those things. We're going to I'm assuming we're sort of covering the basics here for your question. Once the horse can stop well off the reins, then you can start moving on to things like teaching the horse how to stop off of just the word whoa. Once the horse can stop well off of the draw from the reins, then you're going to start working on just getting him to stop off your voice. Obviously, that's quite a bit more challenging for the horse because there's not as much physical cues going on. We basically just sit down and relax in the saddle and say the word whoa. The concept of that is actually quite simple, and not always simple to do, but simple in theory. You're gonna put him in a position where when you say whoa, you're gonna give him a window of time. Let's just say, for example, you say the word whoa, and then you go 1001, 1002. If he doesn't respond and stop within 1001, 1002, you're either going to pull him into the fence, you could spin him around, you could bend him around, hustle his feet, trot around 3 or 4 circles and pressure him, trot him back the other direction, trot him 10, 15 feet the other direction, and start all over again. Say the word whoa, give the horse a chance to stop, and so on, okay? And you do that until when you say that word whoa, he'll stop within that 2-second window. And then you start making that window a little smaller. Okay, if you can stop in 2 seconds, or let's say we're not using seconds, oftentimes I use strides. If I'm in the arena, I'll use panels on the fence. Like, let's just say he stopped within 2 panels this last time. Cool, it's 2 panels or better. When he stops in 1 panel, now it's 1 panel or better. Until eventually, when you say the word whoa, there is no window of time. As soon as I say whoa, I need his butt to hit the ground right away, okay? So that, again, that's covering a lot of ground there as far as things that you can do. But ultimately, the more soft and supple you get the horse, and the more you can move those 5 body parts, forwards, backwards, left, and right, with little to no resistance, the stop really is going to take care of itself.
Take your horsemanship to the next level. The No Worries Club Premium membership is your ultimate portal to complete your horse training. You'll have access to Clinton's complete training library, thousands of hours of step-by-step instructional videos. You'll master all aspects of horsemanship, from fundamentals to trick training. You'll have access to our exclusive social network that connects you with thousands of dedicated horsemen from around the world. You'll have the method available wherever you are and accessible through the web, your phone and tablets, or your favorite streaming devices. You'll receive 8 all-new training videos per year and the quarterly No Worries Journal, as well as access to the ever-growing video library, Q&As, performance horse series, blogs, and more. But that's not all. You also get free tickets to walkabout tours and priority access to the latest news coming from Down Under Horsemanship, not to mention VIP pricing on all of Clinton's must-have training tools. So what are you waiting for? Unlock the ultimate access and jumpstart your training program today.